Alright folks, this is it. We're going to hear this D15 Martin sing tonight, today, or this morning, whenever you see this. I went ahead and made a tusk saddle. Glued it up back in, I think, in the last video. He wanted these Elixir Nano Web strings, 13 to 56s. And he wanted the phosphor bronze, and I didn't have any of those, so I ordered some. And been waiting over the Christmas holidays. It took them a week or so to get here, a little over that. Anyways, I got them. And, you know, I didn't want to make a video just making a saddle. I mean, I've got videos making nuts and making saddles and all that crap already. So I thought I'd go ahead and make the saddle. And then when these came in, we'd be ready for them. I'll show you the saddle, by the way. It's in there. You can see how high that sticks up now. It's not really, it doesn't really stick up as high as what you might think. Because remember, we lowered the top surface of the bridge. But I'm sure I'm going to have to take that saddle down more than that. That's a little bit too high. There you can see it maybe. I could maybe go with some measurements with the old saddle here. We know we wanted to drop the action 2/64. So I could take some measurements from this and then, you know, drop that one down to what this one would be if we took 2/64 off of it. But I'm not going to do that, and we'll go ahead and put the new strings on it, set it up for the new strings. Like I say, I'll probably have to take that saddle out and lower it. So let me bring you over here closer and let's get started, baby. Hold on! Alright, here's what's going on. I only put on 2 strings for right now. And it's tuned up close to normal, maybe a little bit higher than normal, and hit it pretty close with that saddle. I can find out. Here we go. And remember, our old records said 7/64 right here on this bass string. Of course, that was under all string tension. We have to allow for that. We've got 6/64 now on the bass string, and 5/64 on the high E string at the 12th fret. We want to see that come down 1/64. We like to see 5/64 here instead of 6, and 4/64 on the high E instead of what did I say it was, 5. So we want to drop the action. We want it to be 1/64 lower. That means we have to take 2/64 off of the saddle. 1/32 off at the bottom of the saddle. So I might maybe figure that up in thousandths. Anyways, hold on. I'll get my mind together here a little bit. Yeah, I could put the rest of the strings on it and tune it up, and then I would have to loosen all the strings to take them out. I can get really close to the ballpark like this with just 2. And then we put the other strings on, it's going to pull more stress into the neck, which is going to be, you know, going to make it higher. So let's do it. Let me do some figuring here and get the saddle out and start grinding away. Alright, 2/64 is approximately equivalent to 31 thousandths. And that's what I have here. Y'all seen me do this enough times. Right there. Well, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not. That's equivalent to 31 thousandths. That's what we're going to remove. Oh yeah, just one more time here on this. For those that didn't see this before, check this out. This is bone. That's a bone saddle, the old one that came out of there. Here's tusk. Bone. Tusk. Bone. Tusk. Can you hear that? A lot of people say they don't care what it sounds like doing that. They care what it sounds like in their guitar. Well, yeah, but a lot of information can be gathered from that. Alright, 1/32 removed from the saddle. It's pretty close to being in tune. And let's see what we have here. God, I pick that thing up wrong every single time, man. 5/64 on the low E, a little less than 4/64, 3/64 on the high E. Now that side there could be a little bit lower. And hold on, I'll tell you something else I found out about this guitar. I'll just tell you right now, the truss rod is stuck in there, stuck tight, man. I can't even loosen it. Well, yeah, you know, hung on it pretty good, and it wouldn't even loosen. So I'm hoping that we'll still have 12 thousandths relief and get the action we want down here, or at the 12th fret anyway. So we're going to find out. I'm going to put the rest of the strings on it, and I'll bring you right back, and we're going to start measuring things. Hold on. It's up to pitch now. And exactly what happened that I figured would happen. We got to account for another 64th because the extra stress of the strings. Now, this is what I want to do. I didn't want to guess at it and maybe overshoot and then have to make another whole new saddle. It was 5/64 before I put all the strings on. Now it's 6/64 on the low E, 12th fret, and 5/64 dead on the money on the high E. So there again, we want the strings to come down another 64th. That means we've got to take 2/64 or 1/32 off of the saddle back here again. But before we do that, check a couple of other things, not a whole bunch. Make sure the nut action, it was about 16 thousandths. I need a 6 and a 10. And I want to make sure that neck relief is the same because that's perfect, man. Yeah, it stayed the same. I figured it would, but that one's a little tighter, but it goes in there. I'm not going to mess with that. I'm going to leave that alone. And check neck relief. Yeah, the truss rod in this thing is either very extremely tight or it's locked up. I can see 12 thousandths on this. So I'll take that 10 back. Well, I have a 12 here. Okay. I'm going to note it all the way down here too because that's where the truss rod goes to. It's just barely touching that string, man. There it raises it a little bit, but on these two frets, it's not. That one's perfect right there. So we are at 12 thousandths neck relief. See that? Perfect. You can hear the rust on my feelers gauge scraping on the string. I want to check that before we take any more off of the saddle, because you know once you take too much off the saddle, you're screwed. And people put shims under. I don't like to use a shim under the saddle. I like to, you know, have it the right height the first time. Well, there's not going to be much saddle sticking up though by the time we remove another 1/16 of an inch from that. But that's what we're going to do. So hold on, I'm going to get the sander out and start grinding again. Hold on. And now we check everything again. I took another 1/16 off of the saddle. It's up to pitch. And had to relax the strings and everything, so I'm going to check everything all over again. See, that changed the nut action. This is, oh okay, oh wait a minute. 10 and 6. Now, by lowering the action back here that much, it did change this just a little bit. This fits in there a little bit tighter than it did. It's still not raising the string up though. Check that out, man. It's just going under there. It's tighter under the second than any of them. But I'm happy with that. I'm going to leave it alone. And check the neck relief again. I have to mention to the owner about this truss rod in this guitar being so tight. I never turned it, I never tightened it or loosened it because it was so tight. I just didn't want to take the chance of snapping that thing off. It really doesn't need, if we have 12 thousandths right here, And we do have exactly that. You can hear the rust on this thing scraping on the string. So there's no need to turn the truss rod any. That is so perfect, man. We have 12 thousandths relief. And we should have the action. We should be down on that action now to what we wanted. Let me zoom you out here a little bit for this, so you can see a little bit of something anyway. Alright, now we want to see 5/64 and 4/64. That's what we're shooting for. And there it is. 5/64, dead on the money. And dead on 4/64. Man, if you could just see this, you couldn't get it any more perfect than that. I put a 12-inch arch in the saddle to match this as the fretboard. I looked the specs up on these guitars, and it said the arch on the saddle was something else, 16 maybe or something. I forget what it said. The guitar, this one has a 12-inch radius in the fretboard, and I put a 12-inch radius in the saddle to match it. So we should be good across all the strings, and we are. Slowly drops down to 4/64 as you get to that low E, or high E at the 12th fret. Well, you know what it's time for, I assume. Show you here how low that saddle is now compared to what it was. You would need to shave more away from the, you could go a little bit lower than that, but you need to shave more off of the bridge to get it much lower than that. You can see I intonated it as well as I could. I don't know, I hope the camera's picking that up. It's intonated. And that was pretty much just mostly guessing at it. We're going to find out now how close or far away I came. Hold on. Well, I might have gone fishing, thinking it over. The road to the river is a mighty long way. A little deep thinking is going to drive me to grief. Hey, I'm taking it easy. It's my lazy day. It sure got the sound. I knew it would have, man. I just could tell. That's an awful heavy string for this little guitar. 13, 0.013 to 0.056. Those are hefty strings, man. But it's set up for that now. Checked all the frets. And I checked the intonation too. I did that off camera because you know how long this video is getting. I've been in here a long time tonight. But you can hear it doesn't discord at all. I can't get down any lower. Been playing that kind of stuff for a while. And you can tell it. Anyways, one more look at it. The shiny, beautiful, beautiful frets. That's some pretty rosewood too in there. Isn't it rosewood? Yeah. And like I say, there again, the saddle was right back down low again like it was when the guitar came here. But by shaving that bridge like that, we were able to get the action down low. Check that action out, man. Get it down here around my shirt where you can see it. Check that out. I mean, it is right on the fretboard almost. Well, it's 5/64 here and 4/64 there. You can hear the intonation. Sometimes that can fool you. It might sound out to your ear, but on the tuner it was dead on the money, every one of them. So I hope Devin's going to be happy with it. Check out Devin's channel, especially if you're wanting to learn to play guitar. He's got tabs and everything, man. He's got a website with all kind of tabs and stuff that he teaches on there, and he makes videos too, teaching videos. So check him out. Devin, thank you, man. I hope you like this. I think you will. I know I sure like it. You may want to have that truss rod. Think about that truss rod, because I put some oil on it, but it's not moving, man. I couldn't even loosen it. I was afraid of breaking it, so I just stopped there. You really don't need to adjust it right now, but in the future you may have to, and you know that could be a problem then. Anyways, thanks guys for watching, sticking with me through this series, and I will see you again very much soon. Cheers to y'all. Woo! Ah yes, the winter wonderland. We're getting the white stuff now. Check that out, man. Ripping down the white stuff. Hold on.